What's weird about the Gomora in the Ultraman was that the Ultraman powered Gomora looked more like a deformed dinosaur, which and it was actually a lot more. It wasn't that strong, and it looked more slower, and and that's how it was, and that's his appearance. So he, and I think I told you this in the other video with Red King, where the Ultraman powered, or the Ultimate Hero, is basically a like a USA version of the 1966 Ultraman. So you'll see monsters like Gomer, which I just told you about, appearing. I don't know why in that one the monsters look deformed. Like for Gomora, he looked more like a deformed dinosaur than how he usually looks. Usually he has this simplistic look, and the other one, he has like these veins, and he doesn't really look so right. And he was a lot more, he looked more like a dinosaur. Wouldn't he wasn't so strong. But like with the other ones, he was defeated by Ultraman. And then eventually he had those appearances where he appeared in to fight ultra heroes, like for an example, he one time became they called the Max Gomora, where he was a lot more because he was called the Max Gomora. I think it was because he was from Ultraman Max or something. Whatever it was, he also appeared in like in one of those shows. He had many appearances, but usually his main appearances he had the most is when he became a and this time he became the protagonist of all the other monsters, along with in parts of the episode with Ella King, in Ultra Galaxy Neo, which is Never Ending Honesty. And and I did a review with Red King, so one time they fought with each other, and like with all the other monsters, he defeated Red King, and then he defeated him again, but this time he was also defeating Naranga and Teleston because of Bolton. Bolton is that guy, he's not the guy, he's the, what is it called? The Bolton is this thing that is like this ball looking creature thing. It looks like a sea anemone or something, and it's huge, and and he has this power kind of like with Geronimon, where he can revive creatures. And that's what happened. He revived Telesdon, Red King, and Naranga, and then Gomora. I do have Telesdon, but I don't know where he is. And he basically, fought Naranga, you know, like that. And then for Red King, it was the same thing, you know. And then, he was done. And then they also defeated Bolton, which is the ball-looking creature thing. And I don't know if it was after or before. He also fought what was his name? Gomez. Gomez kind of looks like Godzilla if you didn't know, and he was actually a reused Godzilla suit. And fought Magular. And since I have Magular, I'm gonna just show him with it. Apparently like with the other one, he had he appeared fighting, and then in that with Gomez, he also beaten up Magular by stabbing him with his nasal horn and just lifting him up in the air, and exploded, and he's dead. And you can imagine it was the same thing for Gomez also. And yeah, and then he had also other appearances, and then he fought other monsters, like he even fought one and there was a time with Ella King and Gomora where they fought two monsters from the A series called Velocron and Doragori, or Doragoras. Doragoras is this they call it he was basically what they call a Choju. Chojus are these monsters that are known as terrible monsters. And actually, when they said that they were called terrible monsters, I completely understand why. It's not because they were stronger than the normal monsters. It's because they're horrible looking. There's even one where it looked like a it had like these two fried chicken wing things or something, and there was one that had like a bird face, and and remember I told you there was a monster called Jumbo King? Yeah, he's also a Choju, but he's a tyrant Choju because he's made of many different monsters. So he and Ella King from the 60s fought the 70 monsters, Doragori or Doragoras and Velocron. Velocron is the super missile beast or something, and Doragori is the moth beast or something. And he also fought another one called Lunatics. I know the name is kind of crazy, and it's not like Lunatics like, he's crazy. I mean, it's Lunatics like with an X. It's kind of weird. Lunatics was this full moon terrible monster, and it had like this. It looked like a weird bunny or something. He one time fought him along with Salamandora and Nova or whatever it was. And then he also fought another Choju called Vakashim, or yeah, it's called Vakishim or Vakashim. Vakashim looked like a weird Stay Puft looking thing with like it was like blue and orange. It was kind of weird. He was also a Choju, like from the A series. So there's like four monsters he fought. He fought Velocron, Doragori, the Lunatics, and there might have been another one he fought, but that's all I know. And then he fought Vakashim. The funny thing about with Vakashim, he had this mode where because since Vakashim was too strong, he used what they call a Rayonyx Burst Gomora, where he was red. Yeah, that's cool, and it's cool to have a red Gomora. But yeah, that's what happened. He basically, appeared as at first he was like this normal, and then he appeared eventually as a red Gomora called Rayonyx Burst Gomora and fought Vakashim. I don't remember how it ends, but all I know is that, he dies, obviously. And then, like with Red King, he also had an appearance where he played as EX Gomora, and there was a time when in EX Gomora where he fought King Joe Black and Zeton. It was so funny with King Joe Black where he was like stabbing him with his tail and just lifting him up in the air. It was so funny. And then he also had he had an interesting appearance where he was fighting what they call Mecha Gomora. And then at the same time, there was Ultraman. I don't know which Ultraman it was. I think it was Victory or Zero. I'm not so sure. But they did fight the two of them, and like with the other ones, they died. So yeah. So that's the history of Gomora. He's a really cool monster, and there you go. So that's the review of him. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give a like below, and please subscribe.